here. I'm a licensed massage therapist, and I'm going to show you some ways that you can work on the neck in 3 different positions: prone, supine, and side lying, to help eliminate pain that occurs in the neck. Now, I want to show you some different ways to approach tight neck muscles that maybe you've never tried before when massaging, so that they don't go right back when your client leaves. Now, if you have neck pain, make sure that you comment down below. I want to hear from you. And if you just love massage videos and you can't get enough, then make sure that you subscribe to this channel down below. And I really appreciate all of your support. And let's get started. So the neck seems to be more of a complex area just because there are 26 neck muscles there, and many of them are deeper layers. But there are a few that seem to cause most of the problems, so I'll try to point those out as we go. I usually start out with a little bit of neck work while the client is prone to warm up those outer fascial layers and muscles. There's our special guest Winky, you just saw it. The neck is a common sponge for stress to be absorbed. In fact, check yourself right now. Are your shoulders shrugging towards your ears? It's a really common problem for most of us, and we have a hard time letting go and just relaxing. And also, the neck tends to be where we hold emotional stress and just emotional problems. And that's why when people have neck pain, it comes back a lot of the time, and it can be challenging to completely eliminate. It's really important to involve deep breathing exercises as you go throughout your day. But as a therapist, as you're starting out in this area, you need to go in gradually and just melt through the individual muscles. Really deep work can cause the opposite reaction. When I feel like the traps are warm enough, I'll use some deeper pulls using stacked hands and just leaning back to get more leverage. I'm specifically targeting levator scapula here. When this muscle is tight, it is usually felt right at that top angle of the scapula, and it commonly feels like a knot, but we don't get knots in our muscle. It's a fascial adhesion, but it's in a very identifiable, specific spot. To get to it, you have to lift up the trap, and then you will pin it and stretch the fascia back toward you. Have lots of patience when you're doing this. Stretching fascia takes time. And I repeat this move for as long as I feel like it needs it. When there is some softness and space in that area, I move them into side lying. Side lying has become my favorite position to work the neck, simply because I love the results that you can get from active release technique here. Now, when they are in side lying, you can make the decision to place a small pillow under their neck or not. Leaving it out for part of the massage allows for greater neck extension. I usually return the pillow to allow the neck muscles to relax for some of it. Now here I have hooked her arm under my elbow, and I'm able to be in a very relaxed position myself while I am pinning different muscles. Because so many of them attach to the clavicle and the scapula, the arm movement will flex and stretch those neck muscles as well. I can't really get this kind of leverage when they're on their back. It's important to use the thumb as little as possible as a therapist, and so I really try to switch back between the fingers and the thumb whenever I can. Now right here, I'm addressing levator scapula, just from a different angle. Most of the time, it is stuck a little higher on the neck than that really thick part, so make sure that you include pinning and stretching there as well. Now, when the client feels like they wake up in the morning with a creak in their neck, or their neck hurts quite often, make sure that you address this muscle along with the traps. You want to work all the way down to the bottom of the trap, because together those two can really make the neck immobile and stiff. I am now in the scalenes territory. These 3 muscles are really prone to a lot of tension, and when they're stuck, can cause tension headaches. They are just deep to that big, bulky muscle, the SCM. And if your client has forward head posture, or something called dowager's hump, or have experienced whiplash, these are going to be your go-to muscles. Now remember to have patience and don't be afraid to remain there until you feel that release and the change. Creating these little movements with the arm along with the vibrations are a distraction for the client's nervous system and are extremely beneficial for helping those fascial fibers separate. Now, if there are a lot of adhesions here, it can cause some pain referral into the head when being worked on, which is not the most comfortable thing. So using movement and vibration is a great distraction. Now give 1 or 2 gentle pulls on the shoulder for a nice neck stretch, and then we will move on to the supine position. This seems to be a universal favorite among clients and therapists. This massage up the trapezius and compression of the spine all the way up just feels magical and can help gently persuade muscles around the joints that are compressing nerves to relax. Now this may take some time to develop the hand strength for, but you will put your hands one on each side of the spine, and as you're going up each vertebrae, you're just going to press up towards the ceiling. You will see a slight rise in the chest and thoracic area, and then just calmly let it down and relax and come up to the next vertebrae, all the way up, and it will feel amazing. As you reach the top of the vertebrae, you're going to take your hands on each side of the spine and pull outwards this time. There are so many little muscles in there that just get really stuck right by the vertebrae and compress those nerves, and so this will feel really good. Now, supine is the best position to visit the suboccipitals. These muscles are very well known to those of us who suffer from frequent headaches and migraines, and they tend to become stressed when fatigued, and then they become a source of pretty significant pain when they entrap nerves that travel through there. I basically start over when I begin my work right here and gently warm the overlying back muscles. Now, with my hands underneath, I am giving gentle stretches to these deep neck muscles. Then when I finally sink in deeper, they are ready. And now as I'm pinning those 4 suboccipitals, I ask the client to slowly nod her head or shake her head to help with some of that active release. I didn't capture it very well on camera, but I promise try it. Your client will love it. And then give it a gentle stretch at the end. Now throughout the massage, make sure that you do some nice stretches and some softer work just to make nice and keep that client relaxed. Lying in supine position is also the perfect time to use the head for active release and vibration on those side of the neck muscles. Levator scapula is nice and relaxed here, and you can push the trap down to stretch out the fascia. Now this is where you can try something a little differently than you're used to. I use cross fascial pulls on most of the body, so why not here? Instead of going down the muscle, find the spots that are stuck and then create sideways tractions. You're just going to push it kind of out of the way to separate the muscles. By doing this, it can leave each muscle freer to stretch independently, and it will eliminate a lot of pain and constriction. This can take a lot of time, but again, patience is key. This is why I highly recommend focused work in one session rather than a full body when the client has problem areas like this. I am not going to show all of it, but I do go down each of the muscle groups that way, separating each of the different muscles, and I do this from back to front, but we would be here an hour watching the same slow movement, so we will move on. It will be the same process for the scalene as well as the SCM and the front of the neck muscles. I was trained in a Rolfing style of deep tissue, and these slow fascial stretches have proven to be really effective at changing neck pulling patterns. If your client has a forward slump in their neck or rounded shoulders, you make sure that you do not leave this one out. This can definitely affect the front of the body. When they have everything closed in the front, you want to make sure that you're opening not only the chest, but these front of the neck muscles. Make sure to give those tendons some love there at the end. And now that everything is soft and relaxed, I like to end with some softer work and some neck stretching to play nice. Thank you so much for watching today. I have so many other videos. If you want to watch a back massage, if you want to learn more about Guasa, make sure that you subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in the next one.